Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are here with episode 14 of 7 Levels with Lion. I'm your host, Lionheart. Thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate everyone watching and viewing. I hope you guys all enjoyed our video with B-Rich last week. We talked about karate and stuff like that. It's hilarious. Go check it out. There'll be a little button for it, like right up here, that you can go see it, and definitely worth the watch. And I appreciate that very much, guys. Before I introduce today's guest, I would just like to say thank you for a great season 1. We only have this episode and one other episode left with season 1, and we're gonna take a break for a little while. I'm gonna get some people lined up for season 2, but guys, I got a big name lined up for season 2. I'm pretty stoked. One of the top content creators in the Pokemon category lined up, said yes, and said they would do it, and so very excited. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be awesome. But I'm in the zone for today's interview, okay? That's in the future. That's coming up. I'm excited about what we're about to do right now. Let me introduce you guys to Rusty LaRouge. Hey, man, how you doing? Did I say it wrong?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good. Did I say it wrong again? I swear I said it wrong.
No, you said it right.
Okay, I was like, my mind's like LaRogue, and then it was like, no, it came out LaRouge. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Thank you for being here, Rusty LaRouge. Go ahead, take a second, introduce yourself. What can we find over in your neck of the woods on Twitch?
Well, hello everyone. My name is Rusty LaRouge. That's red in French, for those of you who do not know. I'm basically a Pokemon shiny hunter. I do the odd Nuzlocke here and there when I can find time to keep my sanity and try and do them. But yeah, mainly shiny hunting and good vibes.
Awesome. So, I was scrolling through your channel, trying to dig up some dirt, trying to figure out some stuff, trying to see what I could ask you and stuff like that. And I came across your top viewed clip. Do you know what it is off the top of your head?
I want to say it's the Beldum.
It is not, actually. It is.
Oh.
It is your Virizion fail.
Oh my god, yeah, that was painful.
So, walk us through that a little bit, because I saw you already had it down to 1 health, right? And then you clicked in and rapid spin. So like it wasn't like a thing where you didn't know it was shiny. It was just like, was that drift? Just a habitual misclick? What happened on that one?
It was completely drift, and I blame Nintendo for that problem. So basically, I had it set up. I think 4,000 encounters before I seen the first one. I false swiped it. I got it down. I put Torkoal in so I could use Yawn to put it to sleep. And Joy-Con drift went from Yawn to rapid spin, and of course I threw my Joy-Con and cried. It was sad.
You could feel the sadness coming through the clip into that's intense. I'm so sorry that you had that happen. Well, do you have any plans to redeem it? Have you found it yet since then, or?
I have redeemed it, actually.
Nice.
It was like 4,000 encounters later, but I managed to get it. And funny story, it was on the exact same Switch that I failed it on.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
crazy. Man, I bet you were like laser focused about not like no drift or anything like that, or to prevent.
Oh yeah, I think I put it to sleep, and then I yeeted a love ball or a heal ball at it, and it caught first try, and I was like, okay, perfect.
Wow, that's great.
Don't even have to hit it, nothing.
That's like your karma is coming back around to you. Like, you deserve this one.
Oh yeah.
Well, also, so I'm a huge like stream setup nerd. I know mine sucks right now because I had some stuff happen, but I'm really digging yours. I see some dope Dragon Ball Z stuff back there, and
Thanks, man.
So who's your favorite Dragon Ball character?
Vegeta.
Me too, dude. Vegeta's so underrated. I love
Honestly,
Vegeta.
Final Atonement. Every time I watch that episode, I cry. I have to cry. It's so heartwarming to see someone who's such a villain develop that much through a series that he has feelings for a family member, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it's just it's tear jerking.
The freaking neck chop on Trunks or whatever, and
yeah,
man, yeah, yeah. Vegeta's great. When I go to the gym, I try to channel my inner Vegeta, like, just
nice.
like, yeah, his little training sessions in his gravity chamber, dope. Well, okay, Rusty, that is again, thank you for being here, but what we're here to do today is play 7 levels. So I'm going to take a second to explain 7 levels, and we're going to get going. So, Seven Levels is a pod game showcast. I'm not sure what it is, but it is designed for as an interview system to help content creators to have a tool to show their communities to have a little bit more information about themselves out there, because the nature of streaming is really hard to like really hyper focus about one thing. Typically people come in and out of the stream and you're starting up a new conversation or ending an old one, and it makes it really hard to really unpack and unfold a whole bunch of different questions. So I made Seven Levels with the idea that the questions will start off real shallow and they'll get deeper as they go, but the only real goal is for you and I to have a dope conversation, and I know we are going to have one today. Are you ready, Rusty?
I'm 100% ready. Let's go.
100% ready. That's what I like to hear. Okay, Rusty, Seven Levels. Your first question is what is your style? Like right now, you got some like comfy hoodie on and like a Baby Yoda hat. What would you say your style like is as a whole?
I'm still dressing like I'm in my teens, and I'm 35. My style has kind of evolved a little bit. I'm more coordinated with what I wear. As you can see, I'm almost always matching. I give it kind of hip hop slash skater style because I used to skateboard a lot when I was younger. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
just I've never gravitated away from what I'm comfortable wearing.
Okay. Which realm of skate fashion were you? Because I remember growing up. I'm 30, so I'm not much. I'm pretty close to you up there.
Yep.
And so skaters, whenever I was younger, there was like two versions of them. There was like the skinniest of skinny jeans you could ever see on a person, with around that time, oh gosh, like middle school, it was like the big puffy skate shoes. Like they were like almost like pillows on your feet.
The Osiris D3s.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
things. Uh, but then it kind of by the end of high school, people weren't wearing that anymore. It like it had gone to like more of like the just torn up ragged jeans and like flannels and stuff. So
Yeah.
where would you say you are on that skater spectrum of things?
Mostly, it wasn't. I never wore tight jeans. I like to be able to move around when I was skating, so I'd have like a little bit baggier, I guess regular fit jeans, and depending on weather, obviously, just a t-shirt or a sweater.
Mm.
Just anything I was comfortable destroying because I fell a lot and I ruined a lot of clothing skateboarding.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how fast it tears through shoes. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah, grip tape is not nice.
wow. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Well, so what's like one of your best skating moments? Do you have like a memory you're like that was epic?
Actually, I have a few, but one that really stands out was we have a youth center here in town that's where we used to go and do most of our skateboarding, and I spent I think it was 3.5 hours trying to do a kickflip off a ramp onto a picnic table into a nose manual with a nollie pop shove it out. Now it sounds complicated, but if you see it in rhythm, like it doesn't look that hard. But the moment that I finally landed this trick, I looked up and there was clapping and yelling, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And it was my parents standing there who witnessed me do this, and I was like, "You've never seen me skate like this before. And how long were you there? Like, were you my good luck
Wow.
charm?"
Oh,
It was
wow.
amazing.
That's awesome. Epic moment. Love that. That's great. Whoa. That's first level. Good job. You nailed it.
Yeah, nice.
How you feeling?
Let's go.
Doing all right?
I'm amazing.
Yeah.
I feel great. I'm energized.
Well, good. Good. Second level. Rusty. Any vehicle in the world. Car, plane, boat. What are you taking?
Volkswagen Jetta.
Volkswagen Jetta. Is there a
I
certain
know it
year?
sounds 1993 to 1999, the style that's in the first Fast and Furious movie. I've owned 7 of them.
Really?
I don't know what it is. They're comfortable to drive. There's no blind spots in them. And what I really want to do is if I won the lottery, I wouldn't go buy a Ferrari. I wouldn't go buy a Lamborghini. I'd put $100,000 into a 1994 Volkswagen Jetta and make it what I want it to be.
Okay, could you, if you picture it, could you describe it to me? So I'm looking at the Jettas right now, but
Mhm.
like what color, what kind of like kit on it? Like, what do you think?
It would be kind of a gunmetal gray, lowered with a two-door conversion because they never came with a two-door. An R32 24 valve VR6 and four-wheel drive.
Okay.
I've planned this car
You've
out like over the last 10 years.
You've got it figured out. No kidding. Yeah, I'll throw up a picture of a Jetta up when we're talking about it, but I'm not seeing a gunmetal one, but I'll snoop around for one later. But
Custom color.
yeah, for sure. They have silver on here, but it's not exactly it. Well,
That's a rare color actually. The suede silver and Sahara sand are two of the rarest colors you can find in that make and model.
wow. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I growing up, I could have sworn, I don't know, for some reason I ended up fixated on Mustangs. And now
My
as
mom had a Mustang.
yeah, I mean I don't know. I think it was more like I was hyped about the legacy of the Mustang and how it's like, it's been an American muscle car and it's gone all this way and everything like that. But now that I'm an adult, I don't think I would. I mean, I'd definitely drive a Mustang if someone was like, "Yo, here's a Mustang for free." I'd be like, heck yeah! But
Why not, right?
yeah, um, but I don't know. It's funny how like childhood and teenage passions like continue throughout time. Like, do you like remember when you realized that the Jetta was your favorite car?
It wasn't until after I owned probably my second one, because the first one I bought, I was getting just fresh into knowing Volkswagens and stuff like that, and I had access to a shop basically at any time that I wanted to go work on my car, right? So I'd always be there. I did custom interiors in my cars, custom painted things like that, did
Oh
custom
wow,
wheels, and it was just kind of like a learning process along the line, kind of like streaming, right? Like you learn as you go,
yeah,
right? And it's just something that it always stuck with me. My dad hates how many parts I have at his house,
mm,
but they're all there. But
wow,
yeah, it's probably about after the second one I owned. It was like, you know what? I could own these forever.
that's awesome. I like that. Yeah, it is. If you think a stream is very similar to taking care of a car. You can like sustain it in a way to where like I mean you can do upkeep on it that'll guarantee it'll keep going, but then there's also improvements you can make on it to make it better.
Exactly.
So that's actually a really interesting metaphor. I like that. Good job, Rusty. That is
Thanks,
level
man.
2. Level 3. This is like your last like freebie. No, I wouldn't say it's a freebie because this one they're all pretty interesting, but questions get harder after this one. So, level 3, Rusty. What is a song that gets stuck in your head the most, or one that has been stuck in your head recently?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. I like. That's tough. It's it's kind of my brain doesn't work normally like other people's do. I kind of just like it's almost like I have ADHD. I've never been actually diagnosed with it, but like if it's something I've heard recently, it'll be stuck in my head until I hear something else that's catchy,
Okay.
right? So like I'll be driving to work and I'll hear something on the radio by like Ariana Grande and I'll be like, "Oh, cool, good beat." Stuck in my head until I turn the radio on at work and we turn on classic rock and then like say The Who gets stuck in my head and I'm like, "Okay, we'll jam to this for the rest of the day." And it's kind of all over the place. But I
So,
mean, there's certain songs that will always creep up like Banjo Kazooie. That song will just out of nowhere just pop in my head when I think about it, and it'll just be like dun, 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 just over and over all day.
so when are you an active music listener or just kind of like whenever you do, or like, you know what I mean? Like, do you intentionally listen to music?
I find myself listening more to just my stream music lately. I used to download every hip hop song, every hip hop album I could find when I was younger, and I still have all that music on an old PC somewhere. But lately, it's just kind of whatever's on the radio, whatever's on my stream. If I'm not streaming, I'm playing games, so I'm listening to that music, and yeah, not so much sourcing out music anymore.
Mm. What do you listen to on stream?
Mainly Pokemon remixes, Sonic, Banjo Kazooie, just video game stuff.
Yeah, video game stuff.
Yeah, just because TOS, got to be safe.
Yeah. You listen to like Glitch City and stuff like that? They're
Oh
the
yeah,
yeah.
Glitch, Camex, Harris Heller,
Harris Heller,
all
yeah.
those
I
names.
listen to a
Yeah.
lot of Harris Heller. By the way, I actually saw like a hack about that TOS thing. Well, I'll tell you about it. I'll
Oh,
tell you about it after the video. But
yes,
um
do DM me.
um okay. Well, I was wondering about musically, like if whenever you were actively listening to music, are you a make a random playlist, put all your songs on shuffle, or listen to a CD all the way through? What do you prefer?
Ooh, depends on what I'm listening to. Like if I want to listen to some good old hip hop, I'll put Nas, Illmatic, and I'll listen to that from front to back, no problem. Certain albums are just made that way, right?
Yeah,
For the most part, it's 10,000 songs on a playlist, hit shuffle. If I don't like it, next song,
yeah.
right? So, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I can listen to front to back, no problem.
I'm a firm believer in listening to the album straight through. I don't know why, and so I go on kicks of listening to the same album over and over and over again, and I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why. I just think it's like important to try to figure out like what the artist meant by it. And the for me, the easiest one to listen to, I think it's like the one of the best albums of all time, like definitely top five album, is Justin Timberlake's 2020 Experience. Uh,
I don't think I've ever listened to that.
so that's the album that's got Mirrors on it. If you remember back when he had that Mirrors song
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
Suit and
yeah.
Tie
Okay.
with Jay-Z, it's that
Yeah.
album, and it's yeah, it's definitely worth. You like hip hop? This is it's close. It's Justin Timberlake, so but it's not I also like do you like Kanye?
I don't mind Kanye. A lot of his older stuff was good, not so much the newer stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the newest stuff, but what is that one called? Something Nightmare, Dark Twisted Fantasy. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good
Yep.
one.
Um, but yeah, cool, man. I like that. We have similar brains towards music.
Nice.
Hip hop's it's a great category, underrated. Old Drake, love old Drake.
Yeah, old Drake. A lot of the old '90s stuff I like the most, right?
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan. I'm gonna get a Wu-Tang tattoo one of these days.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome. Um, Drake pulls a lot of his samples from Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
But well, cool. That's level 3. Well done. You've made it. You're at the halfway marker, and I'm telling you. So level 4 is I actually thought of this question literally today, and I was like, I think it'll be a cool question, but it is a series of hypotheticals to try to gauge your personality. Okay.
Okay.
So, level 4, Rusty. You're walking down a road, and it splits into 3: left, middle, right. Which way do you go?
Is there any signage for me to read or anything, or is it just blank streets?
Blank streets.
Well, they say take the shortest path, so I'd go straight.
Straight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was
Stay
where
on the path that I'm on instead of veering from the path that I'm beginning.
that's that's where the crazy axe murderer was. So you lost. No,
God damn it.
I'm just kidding. But
Oh,
yeah.
that's my life in a nutshell.
Well, okay. So that's interesting though. I mean, you say it's like this. You're viewing it almost like literally like a map and of your life, and you're saying branching off onto something is taking longer, or it's not there, or it's pulling away, like literally pulling away from this main line that you're on. So
Yeah.
okay. So change the hypothetical a little bit. Your goal is to get to your friend's house. Your friend says take the path on the right. But when you get there, the sign says take the path on the left. Don't go right. And you can't call your friend. So
I mean, I put a lot of my trust in my friends, so I would take the right path. And if anything happened, I'd give them shit when I got to their house. But yeah, for the most part, I'm very trustworthy with the people that I keep around me. And if they're going to give me any information, I'm going to take that information and as they're telling me the truth, right? I mean, there obviously has been times when I've been burned for being very open with people and things like that. But for the most part, yeah, I give the benefit of the doubt to a lot of my friends,
okay.
right? So I'm going to go right. If anything happens, it's your fault, not mine.
Okay. Next level of the hypothetical. You get there and the right has a person guarding it that says you can't go this way, but your friend is still telling you you should go that way.
There's got to be a way around that guy. There's got to be some way to get around him. I'll pull out some treats or something, or I'll bribe him.
Well, so
Hey,
no.
follow me on Twitch. I'll give you a free sub.
um, yeah. So the whole point of this thing of the road thing, I think maybe, I mean, like I said, I just thought of it today, so I don't know, but it's like it's this idea that like we are gonna have separate different paths and have to be pulled different ways from the way that we probably want to go, and we'll often try to do like, so right now you said you will typically do whatever you can to go the way you're supposed to go, which
Yeah.
like, so that like automatically shows that you have like you said, faith in your guidance. So your friend was saying like, no, 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 that's the right way, so you have faith in your guidance, but then also you have confidence in your process as well. Like you are not afraid to try. So because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that would see, the signs on the road and be like, and maybe their first thought would actually be like to doubt what their friend said. Oh, maybe they got it wrong, I'll go this way instead, or like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe they mistold me. But then the really hard part is when there's actually literally another human there that's like, no, you literally can't go this way, like it's dangerous, don't go this way. Or
Well, going back to the skateboarding, I mean, I didn't let security guards stop me back in the day, so.
a common skating trope is
Mm-hmm.
thwarting a security guard's day job. Well, awesome, man. I hope whatever road you end up going down, you get to where you're supposed to go.
Thanks, man.
That is level 4. Rusty, this is level 5. This question I wrote for you today. So no one else has been asked it or anything like that. Well, no one else has been asked that other one either. So you got 2 originals.
Nice.
Um, so in life, you've heard the phrase "treat yourself," right? How do you feel about that saying?
It's very important, honestly, like to give yourself worth. If you do something you feel accomplished for, treat yourself with a nice meal, or buy yourself that pack of Pokemon cards you want, right? Like life's too short to not be good to yourself, right? We don't know how long we're going to be here, so if it's going to make you happy, I'm all for doing whatever makes you happy.
Mm,
Well, to an extent, obviously, but
yeah, and see, that's actually what the question is. Uh, what's the extent? Because you see, I agree with you. By the way, like setting up ways to reward yourself for things that are good, especially in a world where people aren't very quick to um, give other people acknowledgement. So a lot of the times
mhm.
when we do good things, like if we don't reward ourselves for it, there's probably not a lot of rewards that we'll get for it, right? Like,
Ooh, excuse me.
oh, you're fine. So, the question is though, how do you know what the line is? When do you know that you're like justifying like gluttonous behavior, or like justifying, overindulgence in things?
I like how you said gluttonous because I do spend a lot of money on food that I probably shouldn't, but
Well, yeah, I don't know, because, well, yeah, I do too, and so it weighs on me every once in a while. I'm like,
yeah,
I got fried chicken today, and I'm not supposed to be eating fried chicken, but
that sounds so good.
it was delicious. But anyways, so where's the line? How do you know if you're crossing the line?
If I'm losing money or, dipping too far into a bank account, spending money that I should be using on other things, obviously things like that. And if it ever, I don't know how to explain it. If it ever like burdens anyone else, if something that
Oh.
I'm doing is burdening someone else, for whatever reason, I mean, I'd want to talk about it with that person and figure out a way around it. Right.
Hmm.
So those are kind of places where I can't really think of an example right now, but if it was anything that I was doing that was someone else was like, "Hey, hey, hey, no, no, I don't think you should be doing that. You might hurt yourself," kind of thing. I might take a step back and think about it, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Um. So some follow-up. So you're saying like one of the ways you can directly identify it is like watching, watching your own money and saying
Mhm.
like if you're cutting into your funds, then it's very clear that you're doing something here or there. So
Yeah.
how should a person who maybe is like tight treat themselves? Like tight on cash, like it's like literally like, paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, I understand that too, because I mean, I for the longest time, that's how I lived, right?
Hmm.
Um, Go out and do something physical that makes you happy. Go for a run, go for a walk around a nice park, you know? Um, it's so hard to think of things that are free nowadays when, like, almost everything we do costs money, but, just, like, play some video games, right?
Yeah,
Pop a new game and plop an old game in that you haven't played in 5, 10 years and, play through that. Anything you see as a good time or entertainment can be a way to treat yourself.
that's true. I'm curious though, like what do you think it looks like when treating yourself is like feeding addictive tendencies? Like, because like I know there was definitely a time. I mean, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel just came out a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
and I've been playing a lot of it. And there was a time in my it popped in my head this morning when I was literally at work. I should have been focused on something else. That I was like, man, I just want to like go home and play Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what I mean? Like, and so, uh, and even like some part of me was like, just play Yu-Gi-Oh up until this interview with Rusty today, and then the other part, like, luckily I talked myself down off of it because I was like, no, I really need to like get in the right headspace for this interview and make sure like I'm prepared and everything like that. But I often don't make the right choice for that. So I guess like, um, how could a person know if maybe they are falling towards uh, an addictive tendency versus like actually desiring to treat themselves? What do you think?
Well, I mean, if you're treating yourself, it should be like, I don't know, maybe once a week, once every other week, like kind of set. Like that's kind of how I do it. Every time I get a good paycheck, I'll buy myself a good dinner that night. Right. That's kind of my treat. I worked for 2 full weeks. I made a full paycheck. My bills are paid. I'm gonna buy myself a nice dinner.
Hmm.
But getting to the point where it could be like addictive, I find like a lot of people won't even notice that they have that addiction before it starts affecting other people. And I mean, I'm gonna be like super real here. I was not I was not the best in my late teens, 20s. I did a lot of drugs and I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. And it took losing a lot of friends and a lot of respect from people for me to realize that I was doing something bad. And I basically ever since I was 25 for like the last 10 years I've cleaned myself up. I don't do any shit like that anymore. But it's really hard to know that you have that addiction or that problem until it's sometimes almost too late,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I really appreciate you being honest about that. You mind if I ask you some follow-ups on it?
Oh, 100%. Like I
Um,
said, I'm open book.
okay. Um, so do you think? I mean, I'm kind of stereotyping here, but I mean, I just saw it all the time with a lot of my skater friends too. Is like it seems like the skating world and the drug world has some pretty heavy overlap. Did you find that to be true?
To an extent, yeah. Mainly like marijuana, things like that. That was, we'd all go get stoned, go skateboarding. And then obviously other people, like they say it's the gateway drug. It's not, it's the people you keep around you that are the gateway to other things, right?
Yeah,
And not so much hard drugs when I skateboarded, but I do know a lot of people that were around that time that I seen and skated with that had continued down that path, and a lot of them unfortunately aren't here anymore, right? So
mm, yeah, 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 yeah. I knew a couple kids in high school. My high school was huge, like 2,000 graduating class. So yeah, we lost a couple along the way.
yeah,
It's hard to it's hard for a community to be completely supportive of a group of teenagers that big, right? So it's like,
no, I agree.
um, yeah. Um, well, Rusty, I'm glad to hear that you are where you are now and you're feeling a lot more confident and in control and, um, you know, publicly uh, vocal about you really got to watch yourself, right? You got to check
You do,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. And which I think is the epitome of the question of like, like, how do you know when treating yourself is going too far? And so, Um, yeah, and I like your. It sounds like, and maybe you can clarify this if I'm saying it wrong, but it sounds like what I'm getting from you is there's like definitely like treating yourself shouldn't could very easily not have to do with anything consumption. Like it doesn't need to be food. It doesn't need
Yeah.
to be like liquor. It doesn't need to
Yeah.
be drugs. It's like, there's a there are healthier alternatives to treating yourself.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, awesome. Yeah. Um. So I had another follow up. Let me if I can remember it. Sometime I had COVID 2 weeks ago,
Mm.
and apparently there's this thing called like brain fog where you just like all of a sudden your memory sucks. I've forgotten a lot of stuff today. Like I store it and say
Oh no.
remember this in 5 minutes, and like this is the third thing today that I have just like spaced on. Um, well, it's gone forever. We'll never know. I'll
Well,
never know
if it
what you
comes
thought
back
about this
later, let
thing.
me know.
Okay, we'll swing back to it. Yeah,
You can
sure.
always swing back. Yeah.
Um, okay, Rusty, that was level 5, and that was a really insightful answer. Again, I appreciate you being so honest and open about that. I think that's very important to be honest and open about. And being a content creator, it's very important to realize when we have influence over young minds. So
Exactly.
being able to open up about that would be really important. So with that being said, we are to the 6th level, and if any of Rusty's community is here over in the watching this interview, I really appreciate you guys making it this far in the interview. So far, it's been really insightful and really awesome. So thank you, thank you, thank you. With that being said, we are doing a 6th level sub challenge, which means the first person to watch this video and then go over to Rusty's chat when they are live at Rusty LaRoche twitch or twitch.tv Rusty LaRoche. You don't have numbers in yours, right? It's just that.
No, it's just Rusty the
Yeah.
Rouge.
LaRouge. Gosh, I'm so bad at that. Why? I don't know why
It's
I'm so bad at
okay.
it.
It's okay.
Yeah, if you are the first person to watch this, go over to Rusty's chat and say I made it to level 6. That's the code words. Rusty will know to DM me with your name, and I will gift you a sub to Rusty's stream. If you already have a sub, I will gift a sub to Rusty's stream in your honor. It's just a thank you from me to you for watching the video so far. It's awesome, so thank you very much. So first person, okay, head on over. This will go live on Wednesday. Rusty, when's the next time you'd be live after Wednesday?
Probably. I think my schedule this week's gonna be a Wednesday. So yeah, I'll be Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, so there's 2 opportunities to catch Rusty. Okay, get a free gifted sub. With that being said, we are moving into the 6th level. Rusty, you only got 2 questions left.
Okay.
This is I've really appreciated this question so far. I've gotten a lot of good answers off this one. You're the third person I've asked this one. What is a thing in the world that often disappoints you?
People.
People. That is the most common
Honestly,
answer
I
to this
mean,
question. So tell me about
I
it.
mean I, the roads in my town are disappointing. I mean, there's lots of things. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind obviously would be people because what else has the most chance of disappointing another person, right? I mean, that's the first thing that pops into my head. But like, if I think about it, maybe like my car. Um, it needs a lot of work. Um,
Your Jetta's not your dream Jetta right now.
no, it's not. I bought it for $100.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I've drove it for 5 years.
Wow, you got way more than your money's worth in. That's
Oh
incredible.
yeah, yeah.
Well, okay, so what's a very disappointing thing about people?
Not giving someone else the benefit of the doubt or seeing their side of an argument. I mean, I feel like it happens on stream all the time where I'll say something that is my opinion and someone will say, "No, that's wrong. This is what I think." And I'll agree with them. Like, "Okay, cool. That's your opinion. I support that 100%." But like, see where I'm coming from too.
Mm,
Like, please,
yeah.
right?
Hmm. Yeah, you see that a lot in today's world with like COVID going around and everything. Uh, I saw a TikTok that made me really disappointed yesterday, because it's like it was a comedy. So like I'm not mad at that person, but I'm disappointed at the fact that it's so true. And it was like one of those things that was like, um, anti-vaxxers waiting on vaxxers to die, and the other one was like vaxxers waiting on anti-vaxxers to die. And it's like I was like, man, that is so freaking true, because it literally is just like we're so much more concerned about being right over this thing that they're like that you're literally talking about like hoping like half of the population dies, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like
it's kind of crazy, man. Like it's almost like nowadays you got to pick a side or you're wrong, right? Like if you don't see one side of the argument or on the other side of the argument, you have your own opinion, well, you're wrong by both sides. And
right.
it's kind of sad that people can't just give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, well, that's how you believe. Cool. I'll just continue believing how I believe. I won't push my beliefs on you because it's clearly you see them differently. But like, still respect what I have to say. Like, I'm vaccinated. I wasn't going to until they made like a mandate that I had to keep my job. So I went and got my vaccine. So I probably have to get my booster soon enough too. But at the end of the day, like, it didn't really burden me to get the vaccine. And if I didn't, it wouldn't burden me either way. But I mean, there's people out there that are hating on whatever side you're on just because you made a choice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. And like the vaccine is such like a tricky subject too. Like I was actually like really scared of it, like going to get it. Like it's not fear in one of those ways where like people like actually shame people for being worried about it.
Yeah,
But you don't trust them.
yeah,
You don't trust them. It's like this is a scary thing. What do you mean? It has nothing to do with trust. I'm just nervous. You know what I mean? It's like, um, but and like you said, yeah, I knew it wouldn't be burdensome. I knew it wouldn't be a problem to do this thing. It's just something like I'm allowed to be afraid of these things, and I shouldn't be shamed for being like nervous about this thing.
exactly. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion and their own feelings, right?
Right, right. And then it's it's just so. I mean, I really liked what you just said about how like if you don't pick, you're automatically wrong by one side or the other, and it's like really annoying that uh I guess for in a perspective way, it's like if you have two sides fighting and you got a person in the middle, if this side is looking at this side, like they're looking at each other, no matter what anything they're looking at is wrong, that means that person in the middle is wrong too, right?
Yeah,
And it's like that's not actually how this thing should work. You know what I mean? You can't just like um I understand how that's like the logical process that's getting skipped over, but it's like we really need to break this down, right?
yeah.
Sorry, I'm talking too much because I get heated up about this thing too.
No, it's
Like,
good. It's good.
um,
Preach, brother, preach.
uh, I think another instance of that, and maybe you've noticed this, like lately, it seems like Pokemon community has been kind of like that on like Twitter and stuff. I don't know. There's been a little bit of stuff going around, and I also wonder if it's kind of that same level of logic. What do you think?
I mean, for the most part, I'll stay out of all of the drama on Twitter. Um, I I don't feel the need to vent on Twitter so that everyone can see it. But that's just me, right? I mean, I feel like for the sake of my channel and my content, that's what I stay focused to on any social media platform. And the moment I post like an opinion, say it's a hot opinion or whatever, I could get that backlash and it could hurt me in the long run,
Yeah,
right? So I mean, I do see like there's lots of negativity in the Pokemon community, especially around the whole fake shiny thing that's been happening lately,
yeah,
right? And that kind of discredits us who are out here legitimately hunting for shinies. We get a shiny and we're hyped, and the first chat in the comment is, "Oh, did you press L for the shiny?"
yeah.
Like, no, I've been here for 2 months. Do you think I just pressed L now? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, man. So that's like a super interesting about this. Content creation is a the reward system of content creation is based off of like growth, which is like
Mhm.
not something we can like escape. It's very hard. Like people always talk about it, like don't worry about your numbers, don't worry about your numbers. It's like it's impossible. You can't you can't not. Like I
I
don't know how you're not. And so
I watch my numbers all the time. If they're low, they're low. If they're high, they're high. I either way, if there's one person there chatting with me, I'm fine.
yeah.
I'm fine. I'd prefer my numbers to be way up there, but with everything, you got to work towards it, right?
Yeah, and see, and that's a realistic take on it, right? Like, as long as like literally I'm having a good conversation while I'm streaming, I love it, right? Like,
Yeah,
literally, you and I are having a good conversation right now. This is great, right?
exactly.
And but it's that silent part of the day where you're looking at your work that you've done, and you're like my average is only this, and like I think that thought pushes people to toxic behavior for growth, like clout chasing essentially.
Yeah.
And so what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on human decency and clout chasing?
I mean, everyone's gonna chase something once or twice in their life, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I see girls that are pretty and I was like, "Hey, that girl's pretty." Right? There's nothing wrong with that. But to take it to the extent where I'm flaunting it for views, or I'm trying to be sexy so that people will come to my stream, it's like I go to someone's stream for their personality. If I dig their vibe, I'll stay. If you're there just like, low cut shirt, not saying every streamer out there's like that,
Yeah.
but I'm particularly not going to stick around. If you're not interesting, I'm not going to hang around,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't I just couldn't say there's like anyone on Twitch that I would clout chase, because I know I'm an adult here. I don't know anyone personally from Twitch, so I wouldn't know what they're like outside of stream. And I mean, I get propositions sometimes too, so
Yeah.
it happens. But I mean, I look at it like I'm here on stream. This is me. When I'm off stream, I'm still me, but I'm not here for everyone. You know what I mean? I'm doing my own things with my family, my friends that I know outside of stream, things
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, I get really nervous. I've heard some content creators talk about you know, well, it goes all the way back to like what's that saying? All or bad press is good press or something like that. Like what? Man, my brain
Any
just
publicity is good publicity.
yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like I get really nervous that when that's the slippery slope for the mindset of just like being awful or being shameful or like
Yeah.
yeah, like it just
Using that toxicness to gain follows or anything like that, right?
right.
Jumping on a trend that might not be, you know, okay just because other people are on that trend or something, right?
Yeah, I saw something the other day that I was so upset, like again, disappointed in humanity. There is someone who is streaming on Twitch who made a really bad take on bigger streamers and essentially saying like they shouldn't even stream, they're just taking viewers away from, they don't need the money, they're just taking viewers away from smaller streamers. And it was like it was clearly like a bad take. And if you do more research on this person, it's like if you like look through more of the stuff they're saying, they're just like they're clearly not in the right mindset to be saying what they're saying. They're like they're
Yeah.
but and I saw some people like jump on it and like really go in on it, and then all of a sudden it became like people were saying they were proud that they got blocked by her. I was like, that's when I'm just like, dang it, like why are you proud to get
Yeah.
blocked by this person? Like obviously clearly like no one agrees with what they're saying, no one agree, and like it's obvious, it's clearly a bad take, and it's bad. But like the counter toxicity to something that's for me seemed like they were, like I said, like there's just not, it doesn't seem like, I don't know a nice way to say it, but it doesn't seem like they're all there. And as a community, a group of people jumped in on them and all got banned by them. Like, you know what I mean? Or blocked by them. And so it's like, and they were
Yeah.
proud of it. Like wearing that badge, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, that's not a good look for humanity.
No, unfortunately, I mean, you get some things like I seen a tweet. from someone who was streaming who got banned for a certain reason. I'm not going to bring names or anything up, obviously, but
Right.
um, something about, Twitch doesn't do things for us. And it's like, if you're a sole proprietor, which everyone who streams is, you have to take into consideration that if you can't stream, you have to have that side money for yourself, right? Like, I don't rely on my stream money for anything. Like, my stream money basically goes back into stream, supporting other streamers, upgrades for the stream, things like that. And even if I did supply it, like it was my full-time job, I would still make sure I had money put away for emergencies or things like that, right? If I need to take a day off because I'm sick or something. But
Yeah.
like, people don't have that mentality. They just jump to, oh, well, it's someone else's fault, right? It's not my fault. It's someone else's fault.
Oh yeah. That is.
And that's another thing that it disappoints me a lot about humanity is people are quick to blame someone else for their own problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Uh, not being able to take into consideration their own actions, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm the first person to admit if I do something wrong. Like, sorry, I did it. I'm Canadian. I'll say sorry all the time, but it's just who I am. That's how I was raised, right? You make a mistake, you apologize, you learn from it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Humanity can be scary, Rusty.
Yeah.
Well, that is level 6, Rusty. Thank you for talking to me about that stuff. Guys, if you're watching this video, don't forget 6th level sub challenge. Go over to Rusty's channel. It should be, technically, the day of airing should be tonight. Or like, this should download in the morning unless something else goes wrong. You should be able to check Rusty out after the video goes live. Please go over there. I made it to level 6, keyword. Okay. Rusty, you've done it. You've made it all the way to level 7. Here we are at the last level. Man,
I'm ready.
this interview's
Still got energy.
this interview has flown by. I was like, at one point it was 20 minutes. Now we're at 52 minutes. So
Holy, it's been 52 minutes already. Oh my god.
yeah, it's wild.
Jeez.
So yeah, but here we go. The level 7, the reoccurring question for season 1 of 7 Levels with Lion. Rusty, what is a change in the world you would like to see, but you aren't sure you have the power to implement?
I tried to think about this one, and I haven't got an answer yet. It's something that I physically can't change, right?
Yeah, or like you're not quite sure you could. I mean, there's a lot of room in this question for like Izzy had an answer like, I wish teleportation was real, like, because like she wanted that.
That's cool.
Because she wanted to be able to see her friends instantly whenever they're having a bad day. So it's like,
see, that's a good answer.
yeah, it's a great answer. Like,
that good.
It's yeah. So it's like you can take it from there, or you can like, swing it all the way to like a problematic issue with like ethics and morality in the world. There's a whole range of things you could say here.
Okay, I have somewhat of an idea. Basically the housing situation in my province. It's almost impossible for anyone working minimum wage to even get a mortgage to buy a house. Like, I make more than minimum wage. I make a decent, comfortable living wage. I don't make nearly enough to get a mortgage for a house. To put it in retrospective, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment here is minimum $450,000. I could go to Texas and buy a house on 20 acres for that price. No problem.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's something that we maybe as a group could change as a whole province, a whole country, but it's probably unlikely because of the amount of money that can be made in the real estate industry, right? And it's becoming more and more of a realization because I wanted to own a house by the time I was 35. Even if it was an apartment, I didn't care. I wanted my own place. I don't own this place. I rent from my best friend, my roommate. Forbid him, he's an amazing person. But it's the realization of I may never own my own house is slowly sinking in day by day, and there's really nothing I can do about it. Right?
Yeah. So maybe I'm misunderstanding you on something about you said you can own an apartment? You mean like so here we rent apartments, but do you can actually own an apartment?
Yeah, there's different sanctions. Like, there's buildings that you can own, there's buildings you can rent, things like that, right? So like my roommate, he bought this apartment, he owns the apartment, he's part of a strata. I think it's called something else in the States. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but basically you pay monthly for any maintenance fees, things like that, right?
Okay.
So yeah, you can buy an apartment, you can buy a townhouse, you can buy a home,
Wow.
live in a
Interesting.
trailer if you want up here.
Yeah. Sounds like you need to build a little tiny home. It's got like a little stream deck in it and then a
That's
bed.
funny. We actually talked about that because my parents have some acreage at their place, and if God forbid, my parents are getting up there in age now. If God forbid something happens to one of them, then I would instantly move back to help my other parent out. Um, and we joked about building a tiny home in the backyard just for either me or them to live in to like look after them, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a bad idea, honestly. If you can afford it and you have good standing with your parents and your family,
Yeah.
I suggest everyone does it.
Yeah. As long as you can run an internet cable to it or something, you know.
Oh
So
yeah. Underground cable. I'll dig a trench. It's fine.
yeah. Well, man, that is a bummer to hear about the housing crisis that you're in.
Yeah.
That is, the way this seems to play out in the world when stuff like that happens, it's like a big pendulum thing where it's like when it gets worse and worse, it just means it's about to wind up to swing the other way and a whole bunch of stuff
Yeah.
is going to happen, but then it always has to come back and like, but every time it starts swinging, there's like mass chaos and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well, put it in perspective. The place we bought here last year went up 30% in value in 1 year.
hmm,
So it went up almost $100,000.
yeah, it's, like I said, I'm getting married in May and we are looking for a house right now.
Hmm.
And that's kind of a lot what we're seeing. Houses are like, it's at least affordable around here. Like my day job, between me and my fiance's day job, we will be able to get a mortgage for a house that's going to be pretty much equivalent to what she pays by herself for rent for
Oh
her
wow.
apartment. Yeah, and like I got a sweet deal. I'm living like with my best friend and two others in this house. I'm living pretty cheap doing this, um but like the mortgages here in Oklahoma are like pretty fair. But like the problem is every house sells like the day it hits the market.
Yeah, that's another thing too. And like up here, if a house hits the market for let's say $700,000, chances are it's going to sell for nine because someone's going to outbid to buy it.
Right.
Right.
So
So
that's what we're looking at. It's like we've already seen three houses that we were like, that's the one, and it's gone the next day.
yeah.
So that makes me really nervous thinking about having to like pull the trigger on something that I'm enticed by on the first day, but I don't have time to get like people to check it or go look at it.
Yeah.
Like
Almost buying it sight unseen, right?
right, and we're talking about the most expensive thing I'll ever buy.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Imagine, picture that. I'm gonna buy the most expensive thing I've ever bought on the internet. With like, it's like,
Wow.
it's
Yeah. All right. Here's my credit card. Thanks.
yeah.
I'll
Oh
come
my
get the keys
gosh.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's scary. Well, Rusty, I'll be thinking about you for that process.
Nice.
That's oh, that's
Yeah.
intense. That's
Just remember
scary.
that you'll be buying a house and I may never be able to.
I'll let you come hang out in mine. It'll be all right. You know.
All right. We'll set something up.
Well, Rusty, that is 7 levels.
I made it.
You made it through, man. How you feeling? How was that?
It was good, actually. There's a lot of questions I was not expecting at all. So,
Yeah.
and I feel like I answered as truthfully as I could. I mean, like I said, I'm an open book. I'll share everything to an extent with people, like obviously anonymity, things like that. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I
really
loved
happy.
your
It was a good
answers.
time.
Yeah, I loved this conversation. Your answers were great. So, and thank you very much for coming through for 7 levels. Go ahead and take a second to tell YouTube what you got going on. What's coming up in your Twitch life? What's some things that people could look forward to if they're watching you?
Well, if you come by and hang out, you can probably hear me yell at pixelated Pokemon until they change a different color. Mainly, that's what I'm still doing here on Twitch. I do plan on doing another Nuzlocke. I might take another shot at Pokemon Harmony. February or March. I haven't really set everything up. I still got to build a new layout and stuff like that. But yeah, if you come over to Twitch, you can always see things are always changing on my channel. I'm changing layouts, I'm changing borders, I'm changing my logos. I just like change. Right?
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, you'll get to see me in my entirety and hopefully have a good time.
Well, awesome, man. Again, thank you so much for coming out and doing this. I really appreciate it. If you guys are watching this
thank you.
video,
Thank you.
please go check out Rusty on Twitch. Well, that's really it, man. All we got left saying bye to YouTube. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, YouTube.